Hey everybody, Fire Momma here. Today's video, we're going to be dehydrating potatoes. Stick around and see. If any of you remember the video that I shared with you, it's about we went to town and went to some of our Amish stores, and one of the Amish stores had free 10-pound bags of potatoes. So naturally I got 2 bags, so I ended up with 20 pounds, and I grabbed 2 pounds for a friend of mine. But anyway, because I wanted to dehydrate some. Now we grow our own potatoes, but I thought, hey, they're free, why not? But I wanted to dehydrate some to put on the shelf so I can make my own cheesy potatoes, but they're shelf stable. You can make cheesy potatoes from fresh, but this way you've got your potatoes in a bag, sealed up, and then you just add your cheese and stuff when they become rehydrated. But the potatoes are shelf stable. So I have already peeled up my potatoes. I actually sliced them, peeled and sliced them. I just used my little handheld mandolin. I'll try to get these up here without making a mess. They're just slices. Yes, I have them soaking in water because you want to soak them for an hour or so in some cold water because you want to get a lot of that starch out. If you don't, your dehydrated potatoes will be brown. Now, there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine. It's just they're brown. You can still use them for something, but naturally you'll have a child that gripes about the brown potatoes. Anyway, so I've had these soaking for a couple hours now, and so I'll drain them off, but I'm not going to dump the water because I want to show you after I get these potato slices out what's at the bottom that can be saved. That's a great pantry staple. So I'll be right back with freshly drained potato slices. Now I have all my potato slices out. I washed them off again. They're straining out, letting them dry out a little bit. But what I wanted to show you, and I don't know how well you can see, I hope you can see it, but the white stuff down in the bottom of the bowl, and there's some still floating in the water, that is potato starch. Now, when that all settles and that liquid is clear, I will carefully drain the water off, and then I will dehydrate that and make powdered starch. Now I put my bowl of starch back there on the counter with the lid on it just to keep anything from flying in it. But I wanted to show you real quick. This is some starch I made back in 2015, which I didn't use very much of it. Now, when I ground it up real fine, but there was some still little tiny pieces, and no, you can't see them in here, of the potato in there, and because I wanted to, try it 2 different ways, and it works just like regular cornstarch. Okay, now I did some back in 2018, and this one I ground up very, very fine, and then I sifted it through a very fine sifter. Works the same. So I'm not going to go on too much about the starch, because I will make that video when I do that. And hopefully I'll have enough in the bottom of the bowl to actually be able to show you. So anyway, I'm going to move on with dehydrating the potato slices. So, like I said, I use my hand mandolin to slice them up. And I didn't use the really thin guard on it. I used the medium because that was just about the right thickness, I think. I tried the thicker one, and I think it's just too thick. And it'd probably take too long to dehydrate. But, so I used the medium-sized one. And I am just going to lay these out. And yeah, and now they tend to bend funny when they've been soaking in the water, but that's okay. So I'm just going to lay these out on my dehydrator, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alright, so I have my slices all laid out on in my dehydrator, and I have four racks, which that's all I have for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on it. Now I will start these out at 160, and then in a couple hours I'll move them. It doesn't say 130, but I know 130 is about right here. If it's a little over to 135, that's fine. And then it takes about 5 to 6 hours in the house. But I wanted to show you real quick the ones that I've already have done up and in a jar. They dehydrated down. This is 4 trays. Now I will say the ones in here, these potatoes were a little bigger than these ones. So, but this right here is four of these trays of potato slices dehydrated down. Now I didn't have any of the flakes that I made up done yet, but when I do those, I will do a update video and show you those. I wanted to add, so when I get this jar full, I will take my air jar sealer and I will suck all the air out of it and seal this. As you can see, it is really easy to get things. You know, like I said, I got these for free. If you find them free, if you find stuff on sale, it's easy to take that stuff and turn it into something that's a shelf-stable meal. You know, like I say, these I'll use for cheesy potatoes. I will grind them some up real fine, and I can use them as potato flakes, because potato flakes is what I use for my sourdough bread starter. And it's just, you know, it's nice to have that stuff on the shelf if you ever need it. You know, and you can do that with several things. If you don't have a dehydrator, if you don't have the money to spend on a dehydrator, find somebody that might have one, or someone you might know you can borrow a canner, or, you know, just there's other ways of dehydrating, which right now, this time of year, I don't know if solar dehydrating would do any good, because we've had some really cool cloudy days. And that solar dehydrating is actually something I am researching, you know, that I want to get into doing as well. But I don't want to get too far off track. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you the potatoes, and I did have some potatoes left over, which I'm going to actually use those to make homemade potato chips. So at the end of this video, there may be a little video of the homemade potato chips. So if you want to hang around and watch the end of that, that would be great. And then once the starch finishes settling in the bowl, I will do the video on that. And if it's just a minute or two, I might put it at the end of this video. I don't want to make these videos too long because I don't want to bore you. And here I am rambling again. Anyway, so just, if you watch the whole video, because there may be some extra things at the end and that you might want to watch. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful for everybody. If you have any questions or any comments, please put them down below, and I would be happy to answer them for you. And like I say, I don't know everything, but if you have a question that I don't know, I will go to the next person that I know knows everything, and that is my mama. She answers a lot of questions. So anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Please like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And to all my subscribers now, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Everyone have a blessed day. Fire Mama out. So I got a little spatula. Oh, and let me apologize for the washer background noise. I'm sorry, it's just things are always hectic, and I'm always trying to multitask and get a whole bunch of things done at once. So, but that's life on the homestead, getting stuff done. So I went ahead and I did pour a little bit more of that liquid off, but I'm not going to do any more because I want to keep as much of the starch as I can. But I'm just going to get that loosened up. And it's in the starch form. Now, like I said, I know this is a little bit, and just kind of spread it out. But I wanted to show you this because, next time you do some kind of potato things, don't throw that starch water out. You can always save it. Now, because it's just a little bit, it won't take very long to dehydrate it. And what I'm doing is just trying to break where that was thick up. I'm just trying to break it up so it's a little thinner. Just kind of spread it around so that way it evenly dehydrates. Alright, so, and this really shouldn't take more than a couple hours just with its little bit. So I'm just going to put it on, I'm going to just put it on 160. Let me bring you around here. I'm just going to put it on 160, and I'll check it in about an hour and see what it's doing. And if it seems to be okay, I may just keep it on there the whole time. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it back to between 130 and 135. As you can see, mine doesn't really have a 130 setting, but it's probably going to be just right in between there, give or take. Alright, so it has just been about an hour and a half, and as you can see, that's pretty dry. But I just took my clean finger and just kind of moving it around, breaking it up, just to make sure it's good and dry. So what I'll probably do is I am finishing up something else. So I will let that go for probably another 30 minutes, just to make sure all those that I broke up are nice and dry. So I have taken it out of the dehydrator. It is dried up nicely. Now, because there's just such a little bit, I am not going to worry about putting this in the food mill and grinding it up, powdering it up even smaller. As you can see, I am just going to put it in a jar, and I will label it and with the date, and I'll be able to tell that it's unground. And then if I get some more, I'll just add it to that, so I'm not just dirtying up my food mill to powder it up for nothing.